What is good, y'all? What is good? It's been a little minute, man. It's been a little minute. What's going on, guys? Ladies and gentlemen. We here with it, man. A little over a week away from the NFL draft. It's been a long time coming, but can it just be next week already? Can it just be next week? I'm tired of the speculation. I'm over the continuous, predictions and mock drafts and all these different things, man. I'm over it. Let's get this real thing on the road, man. So we got one person in here, man. Say what's good. If you once you're in here, say what's good in the chat. You already know we read every single chat that goes in here in the building. We're gonna try out the little chat on the screen as well. Hopefully that works. Let's see if that works, man. We need one person to test that out, man. It's been a little minute, man. Had a lot of things going on overall, but I'm glad to be back. Still working on some things, but it's all good, man. At the end of the day, too blessed to be stressed, blessed to be able to wake up today. That's the best thing, man. Sleazy was good. He said I have like 200 questions saved up, Juke. Hey, drop them all this chat, man. Drop them all. Drop them all. We're a week away from the NFL draft. I couldn't be more hype. And once again, we will be live streaming during the NFL draft. If you're off, if you're free, make sure you pull up. We're going to have some live reactions going on, obviously, with the draft picks that will be taking place. Day 1 and day 2, I will be live for both of those. You already know I had to crest off the time from work. Had to make sure we get all that stuff lined up. Definitely got to be here with my people, man. Definitely had to be here with my people. Now, there's no... I'm glad the chat works, by the way. I'm glad the chat works. Make sure you type it up. You're gonna be included in the video, man. Let's go. Now, I didn't put the people on this thumbnail for no reason. I think if I'm a betting man, most likely you're gonna hear one of those 3 names called on draft night. I definitely think it's gonna be either between Malik Neighbors, Drake May, or Rome Odunze. I definitely think that's gonna be the plays for us. A lot of it slowed down in terms of, speculation on what the Giants will do. But overall, it's because Joe Schoen has really, manipulated this well. You really don't know what direction he wants to go. You don't know what direction he's leaning towards. All I know is I definitely expect us to pick up a QB. Definitely expect it. If it was reported today, I did go ahead and post it up in the community tab. Make sure you stay in tune in the community tab, man. I did have it posted up. I talked about how the fact that they brought in Bo Nix and Spencer Rattler for a visit. I'm not sure if it happened yet or it's going to happen, but it will happen. Them doing their due diligence on the quarterback, they don't have to go to this lengths. They don't. They don't have to go to this lengths in terms of looking at a guy like Spencer Rattler or Bo Nix. It makes you think maybe they actually kind of are into drafting a QB, maybe with the 2nd overall pick. It might be, man. Sleazy says it better not be JJ. I'm gonna crash out. No, I agree with you, man. Way too many reports on JJ. I think JJ was just a smokescreen. That's what I think JJ was. I think JJ was just a smokescreen. They used it to their advantage, and they're still going to use it to their advantage, but I don't think the Giants would take JJ. We really don't know, though. We really don't know, and you gotta honor what Joe Schoen's been cooking up with, man. You gotta honor what Joe Schoen's cooking up with. Make sure you say what's good once you enter the live stream, man. Make sure you say what's up. Let me know your draft predictions for draft night. We're here to talk about the NFL draft, talk about potential, other things we want to talk about with this team. Voluntary workouts did start. A big name that's not going to be there, a big name to us, maybe not the league. Darius Slayton's not reporting. He's looking to push for a contract, which best of luck to him. But if we're selecting a wide receiver, which I think we will, if we're selecting a wide receiver with the number 6 overall pick, Slayton, you're not going to get it back from us, my boy. You're not going to. And rightfully so. He should be pushing for this. Darius Slayton should be pushing to get a contract. He was on a relatively cheap 2-year deal for the Giants. It paid off for the Giants big time. But Slayton's saying, hey, I need to cash in while I can now. Career high in yards. Coming off of a year where we had 3 quarterbacks playing. Yeah, I want my cut. So, best of luck to him. Who knows? Maybe you could see the Giants probably trade him during the draft, maybe. Could see something like that go on, man. We got a couple people in the building. Once again, man, say what's good in the chat if you haven't already. We back on live streaming on Wednesdays. Next week is gonna be Thursday night because we got the NFL draft taking place. And I've been cooking up some stuff for y'all, man. I've been cooking up some stuff. I believe the last time I went live might have been when I was interviewing Marjay Smith. That might have been the last time I was live. I did it on StreamYard. How do y'all feel about that? Whoever was in there. I think we got a couple people in here that was on the StreamYard stream. StreamYard is definitely dope. I've been stuck on this, and I just feel like this is more visually appealing. But y'all let me know how the StreamYard stream was, man. So he says, if the Cardinals and the Chargers keep their picks, you think we should trade back with the Vikings? Honestly, it wouldn't be a bad play, but it just matters about how much the Giants really love guys like Rome or Malik Neighbors. Because most likely, if the Cardinals and Chargers keep their picks, right, Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to go to the Cardinals. You can see the Chargers either go Joe Alt or one of the top receivers left, which is Malik Neighbors or Rome Odunze. So it's just a matter of if they had to. It's just a matter of if they really like those guys. You know, if they're there at 6, you have to take them because trading back, you're not going to see them there. So I don't know. I wouldn't think that they'll trade back. I probably think they're more likely to trade back than trade up. But I also got, obviously, like I said, Drake May is on the board, or is on the thumbnail for a reason. From what I'm hearing, you know, I'm not an insider. I don't have a super inside scoop, but just from what I'm gathering and what I'm seeing, I definitely think Jaden Daniels is gonna go number 2, which that puts the Patriots in the spot, right? Are you taking Drake May, or are you not sold on Drake May? The Patriots might not be sold on Drake May. And if that happens, I definitely think the Giants might swoop in, either try to trade up to 3 or do whatever they can to get Drake May. Kill People. Crazy name. But had to rush from the hub to come see my boy. Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you for tapping in. Once again, appreciate all the people that are in the building. Once again, it's been a little minute. It's been a little minute, but I love to be back, man. Love to be back. Still been uploading videos, though. If you haven't seen my other videos, check them out, man. Dante Miller, sleeper running back, fastest running back that would have been in this class. Giants signed him. If you don't know more about Dante Miller, check out that video, man. Check out that video. I'm going to pull up that tweet real quick that I saw from earlier regarding Bo Nix. Regarding Bo Nix and Spencer Rattler. Wherever it went. How y'all doing on this Wednesday, though? How we feeling on this Wednesday, man? How do y'all feel about the NFL draft pertaining to the Giants? How do y'all feel about that? As we pull up right here. So as it says right here, man, the Giants pre-draft work on quarterbacks include Bo Nix and Spencer Rattler making visits to East Rutherford this week. Sources tell me Rap Sheet. So the team has done deep dives on passers who will be available at the different levels of the draft. That right there tells me the Giants will get a QB, or they're really pushing to get a QB. It's just a matter of where, and it's just a matter of when. If they're going deep to the point where, remember, Spencer Rattler was looked at possibly as a 3rd rounder, Bo Nix a 2nd rounder. Who knows? Do they make a move in the 2nd round? Do they make a move in the 2nd round or trade up in the 2nd round to try to get one of these guys? Who knows? At this point, I believe they visited all of the top QBs, including, obviously, we got Penix from Washington, the top 3 QBs. Caleb Williams is not going to fall, but top 3 QBs, including Bo Nix, Spencer Rattler, and Michael Penix. They're doing their homework, and it's not just homework. It's not like regular homework. They're looking into a QB. So it's just a matter of when and where, like I said. If I do see them go, receiver with the 6th pick, I definitely expect them to try to take a QB later. 2nd round might be the moves, and who knows? Spencer Rattler might be a New York Giant. A lot of people don't like Spencer Rattler, and I'm not going to tell you that I'm the biggest lover of Spencer Rattler, but the talent is there. It's just about maintaining everything else. Keeping this guy, keeping his head on the shoulders, pretty much. He's very full of himself. If you haven't seen QB1, I believe it's called, QB1 on Netflix, it was pretty much following him since high school. Top recruit. When he went to Oklahoma, people were slating him to be like the number 1 overall pick. And Stuff fell apart. Now here he is, projected to go in the third round. The talent is there, though. The arm talent is definitely there. Sleazy says, Slayton saw Jerry Jeudy get paid and said he's worth the same thing. They're both trash, too. Yeah, I mean, Jerry Jeudy getting paid that money, and obviously he got traded. Darius Slayton has been producing right up there with Jerry Jeudy. It's just Slayton's trying to ask for it at the wrong time. He's cashing in at the right time for him. But as far as for the New York Giants, they're probably not going to go ahead and do that, man. They're probably not going to go ahead and do that. Once again, mainly because the Giants are probably going to take a receiver at the sixth overall pick. That's my take on it, man. We only got one like on the stream, man. Make sure you liking up the stream. And once again, if you're in here, say what's good in the chat. We read every single chat once again. Definitely looking into, what else could possibly be on the board. Talking about trading up. I spoke on it a little bit. We're only possibly trading up if Drake May falls to 3, which looks kind of likely. And I feel like the Patriots might not be sold on Drake May. That could all be smoke too. That could all be the Patriots, pushing to get possibly a better pick or get possibly a better trade package. But I feel like there's a chance, man. I don't know. I just feel like there's a chance. The Giants are probably in love with Drake May. His talent, his potential is there as well. A lot of people are talking about the missed throws, and sometimes he's inaccurate, as a couple other QBs are. And some of his misses are misses, but you want to see Brian Daboll with Drake May. If that happens on draft night, man, we're walking out of here with the dub. We're walking out of here with the dub, man. Sitting at the 6th overall pick and doing whatever you got to do to end up getting one of those top QBs. Drake May at one point was supposed to be 1A, 1B with Caleb Williams. That's what it was. 1A, 1B for a little while. Possibly if he falls to 3 and the Patriots aren't in love with him, the Giants have to pounce. They have to pounce on it. And no matter what anyone says, obviously the Vikings are making moves and they're finally, pretty much saying that they want to commit to drafting a QB. The Giants haven't been open to that. The Vikings making those trades and acquiring those picks are saying, hey, we want to trade up. Those picks are not more valuable than the number 6 overall pick. Trading back to the number 6 overall pick, you still get one of the premier guys in this draft, including one of those weapons at the wide receiver position. So if the Patriots looking to trade out, possibly if, the Cardinals are looking to trade out, and the Giants really feel like they're inclined to move something, I could definitely see it happen. Sleazy, once again, appreciate you. He said, Joe finally disguising our draft picks. If we get Drake May, bench him for a year and then start him. I'll take whatever we got to do. I think benching him would be smart for a year, have him sit for a bit. But if we get Drake May, man, hey, we're walking out of there with a dub. We are walking out of there with a dub because, we were looking to have one of the worst records in the league. We won a couple games, and we still got, the quarterback for the future potentially. Walking out of there with the dub. Some people are high on Drake May. I'll take Drake May. I will take Drake May any day. Any day, man. Once again, we will be live on draft night. I hope to see a lot of you guys here. Draft night, we will be live with a live reaction. Just talking about all teams in general, but obviously focused on the Giants. Giants had the 6th overall pick. Last year, if you weren't a part of it, which once again, last year, the NFL draft was my first live stream. My first live stream was the NFL draft, right on time. And we had to wait all the way till the 25th pick, I believe, to go ahead and get Deonte Banks. So, we sat on stream, sat waiting on it, trying to see what was going to end up falling to us. Now we're back at the top of the draft where we kind of can tell, where the Giants are headed and how things might shake. So I definitely expect y'all to be here. We'll be live once again that Thursday, first round, and also the second round Friday, second and third round on Friday, man. Who's a sleeper? Who's a sleeper for you guys, heading into the season? We haven't got the draft over with, of course, but free agency is pretty much slowing up a bit. I definitely expect the Giants to still make a move at corner. Still haven't addressed the corner position. That's tough because for this defense to be where they want to be, they have to add another corner. Deonte Banks is obviously going to be our CB1, but we need somebody else across from him. We got a couple more people in the building, man. Make sure you like the stream if you haven't already. Say what's good in the chat. We read every single chat. But once again, corner still needs to be addressed. Brian Burns, I feel like went under the radar. Like, I know it was a big blockbuster move, but I feel like the hype for Brian Burns is kind of getting subdued due to the NFL draft. Once the draft happens and once the season's upon us, we'll see what happens. But Brian Burns was a big acquisition for us, man. And once again, for this defense to be where they want to be, we still have to get some guys on the back end and get this cover, man. So he says TJ Tampa. Might be a little lost on that, my brother. I might be missing something. Once again, we got a couple people in the building, man. Say what's good in the chat. Let me know your thoughts on the Giants and potentially this draft. Let me know in the chat. Yeah, man. Once again, corner has to be a top priority. Has to be a top priority heading into this draft. Probably expecting to address it third or fourth round. Not saying we're going to find a gem, but we just have to add more CBs, to this team. Potentially a free agent corner could still be on the move. Darren Waller, maybe the money that Darren Waller will, free up can possibly get us another corner. That's the hope. That is the hope. Darren Waller just needs to retire, though. I just need my guy Darren Waller to retire. Make your decision, make your choice, and let's get it over with. Dragging it out until this point is kind of ridiculous. Now, there are some people that are making memes about it, and they possibly could be right. A lot of people are thinking that Waller's waiting for the draft. Waller's saying that they're just waiting. They're just waiting for the Giants to make their pick. Is it going to be a QB? Are they moving on from Daniel Jones? And from there, Darren Waller make his decision. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if I can really expect that. But if that is the move, man, it better be after draft night. After draft night, you need to make a decision. He's dropping too many YouTube vlogs and too many songs and not making a decision on wanting to play next year. Because at this point, the Giants are not going to set to cut him. But best believe, I think the Giants would end up enjoying it if he went ahead and retired and just let us know. The Giants need to know. What if we have to draft a tight end, They did sign a couple blocking tight ends, potentially to free up Bellinger from taking that role, but Waller should let it be and let us know. Let us know. Don't hold us hostage. So he says CB TJ Tampa, similar to Banks, but a little bigger. I got to look into him, man. I got to look into him for sure. Possibly, who knows? Maybe we're going to be talking about him tomorrow. TJ Tampa. CJ Tampa. Now, if you haven't seen, I did drop a mock draft. Recently. I'm not a big mock draft type of guy, but cornerback from Michigan, I could definitely see him possibly being in play. That's who I ended up taking with the second round pick in the draft. Couldn't remember if it was third or second. He was more of a slot corner though. TJ Tampa from USC. Yeah, I'm gonna look into him, man. Definitely a bigger build, 6'2". Definitely a bigger build. Man, these dudes coming in this draft are coming out in 2000, born in 2002, man. Where is time going? Where is time going? And C says Waller baiting, man. He is. I mean, I don't know if he's trying to, bring more awareness to himself because he's dropping music and he's posting YouTube videos. I don't know what it is, but Waller needs to let us know. Waller needs to let us know, man. And in that is freedom. Be honest. Speak the truth, and freedom is there, man. Whether you're going to stay or you're going to go. Obviously, we know they added a couple different linemen in free agency. We know we made some moves there. That doesn't stop us from drafting more linemen. And possibly, most likely, I can see us in the third rounds and the later rounds. Probably going to see a couple of guards added. In my mock draft, I had Christian Haynes, being mocked to us. Guard coming out of UConn. Definitely expect to add an interior lineman. Have to. John Runyon Jr., he's going to start. The money that he got, he's probably going to start for us. But who knows if the other guard is going to work out. Who knows what we're going to end up rolling up with. They're saying possibly Illuminor is going to play guard with Evan Neal trying it out at right tackle once again. Don't think that'll last. Don't think that'll work. Will Evan Neal move to guard? Will he not feel comfortable to move to guard? Giants are still going to have to make some moves on the interior for sure. Going to continue to make moves on the interior for sure. Once again, man, we will be live on the NFL draft night. Just making sure everyone hears it. And everyone pulls back up next week on Thursday. We will be here with the live reaction. And we still got a couple more people in the building, man. Say what's good in the chat if you haven't already. What's going on in here, man? Hope you guys are having a blessed Wednesday. Hope everything's going well. And let me know your take on the Giants. Who do you want at number 6, man? It has to be, like, you can't tell me Caleb Williams. It has to be a logical pick. Who do you want with the number 6 overall pick? Who do you want, man? Y'all let me know in the chat, man. Who do you want to pick number 6? Miguel was good. He said, do they know how to make moves? We talking about our front office? I hope so. I hope they know how to make moves. So he says, only way Evan Neal bests out Jermaine is if he gets back to his Alabama way. I'd hope if he would, man. Like, let's not forget, like, Evan Neal was one of the best tackles coming out. He was supposed to be the next best thing. Super athletic. Man, I haven't seen the athleticism come to play yet. Might be too athletic for his position. Evan Neal at this point, man. Miguel says MHJ or Neighbors. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Neighbors. I love Malik Neighbors. But if Marvin Harrison Jr. is there, I'm taking Marvin Harrison Jr. This guy was the number 1 wide receiver 2 years ago. Like, he was going to be the number 1 wide receiver 2 years ago. So best believe I love Malik Neighbors. I think Malik Neighbors is going to be great. But I'm taking Marvin Harrison Jr. Separation at its finest. Route running at its finest. For me, it's just Neighbors is so explosive, man. Neighbors is so explosive. I really love his game. Miguel said yes, front office. They made a couple of moves. Now, some of the moves might have not played out. You know, the Waller move hasn't played out until this point. You could argue, you know, we'll see what happens with Brian Burns, but hopefully Brian Burns works out. If it doesn't, that was a big swing. And, you know, trading Kadarius Toney, that was one of their bigger moves. Who else did we traded for Isaiah Simmons. That didn't cost too much. He's back, by the way. Isaiah Simmons is back on the New York Giants. But let's hope they make the right move, man. No matter what the move is, let's hope it's the right move. So he says pick number 6, Malik Neighbors, 100%. I think that's the pick. That's the pick, and I'm not going to be mad at it. If all 4 quarterbacks go top 4, the Giants have no quarterback to take in the first round, and they take Malik Neighbors, I am not mad at all. I'm a little worried that the Chargers will end up taking him because you don't trade away your top 2 receivers or not sign one of them and trade away the other one and not draft one, right? Like, you don't do that, especially considering you have a young QB, you have a talented QB, you need to give him some weapons. That kind of has me hesitant. C says, bro, autocorrect is against me at this point. Nah, you're all good, man. You're all good. Jonathan Studios was good. Appreciate you for typing up in the chat. Appreciate you for being here. He says Andrew Thomas missed 7 games last year. Pick 6, Joe Alt. Left tackle Joe Alt. Left tackle Thomas. Left guard Neal. Schmitz. Right guard Runyon. Right tackle Alt. So you think we should take Joe Alt at 6. Now, he could be generational. He could be a really great tackle for us. I just think with the picks that they invested in the offensive line these past couple of years, I can't see them trying it again. Can't see them doing it. And I don't say trying it as in like Joe Alt might not work. There still is that, you know, that possibility. But not saying that Joe Alt wouldn't work out. It's more of just we've swung, man. We've swung so many times. Miguel said, I'm just saying drafts and free agency haven't really hit yet. There's some diamonds, not diamonds. All right, let me back up a little bit. At the end of the day, we didn't win a lot of games last year for a reason. Some free agency acquisitions were nice, though. Obviously, Okereke. Okereke was a really nice move. That worked out for us. Dang, is that it? Is that it in free agency? As in a move that A'Shawn Robinson got a bag from somewhere else, but he was a really functional interior D lineman. And I say, like, when I'm thinking about free agents, I'm thinking about certain people that were added to the team. I needed them to, like, be game changers, you know? I needed some of these guys to really make an impact. So, you know, other guys like Nacho, you know, he'll contribute a bit. Isaiah Simmons, he fit in his role last year. We weren't expecting him to be like the biggest star, you know. I'm glad we didn't use that pick on him a long time ago. But yeah, man, as far as in the draft, we got Banks. Obviously, Banks was an impact player. Wan'Dale Robinson was starting to heat up last year a bit. That was a second-round pick. Micah McFadden bursting onto the scene. Now, is it more McFadden or was it more of the D-line? That remains to be seen. So he says, I have a feeling Harbaugh is most definitely not going for Joe Alt. And that right there is what I'm hype about. That right there, potentially. You know who could really shake up the draft, y'all? Like, what could really shake up this draft? If the New England Patriots say, we don't really like Drake May. You know, we're not really sold on Drake May. We don't really want him. But I don't want to trade out of it either. Give me Marvin Harrison Jr. If the Patriots take Marvin Harrison Jr., the whole league is going to go berserk. In terms of everyone trying to move up to number 4 with the Cardinals. The Cardinals will probably get a king's ransom. The Giants have to be in on that if that happened, man. I don't think it would be possible. I don't think it's for sure going to happen. But if the Patriots say, give me Marvin Harrison Jr. at 3, man, it would shake things up for sure. Shake things up. Once again, you got Drake May at 4. Cardinals aren't taking a QB. Chargers ain't taking a QB. What's going to happen? What'll play out? You know, I don't think it's likely, but with the Chargers possibly taking Joe Alt, you know, who knows? Maybe you could see, maybe the Cardinals say, hey, go ahead and give me Malik Neighbors. And the Chargers say, all right, give me Joe Alt. Drake May at 6. Might be Fantasyland. It might be Fantasyland, but I'm just saying. If the Patriots really want to shake things up, that's definitely one way to get it done. Miguel says, Okereke and Banks. That's it. I think Micah McFadden possibly. Micah McFadden, and I'll throw Wan'Dale in there. Wan'Dale hasn't been a superstar, but last year, the way they were using him, I like the way they used him. So you said, I don't know if you noticed, but Joe is going back to the old days when we had a dominant defense that carried our offense. Last year, I was hoping that it was like that. You know, that offense had to get carried. You know, it was too heavy to be carried last year, for sure. But definitely, you know, I think Joe has invested into the 2 most important positions. That's the offensive line and the defensive line. Free agency, you saw what he did on the offensive line. Defensive line, he went ahead and traded for Brian Burns. We still have Dexter Lawrence. We still have Kayvon Thibodeau on the other side. You win up front, man. You win up front. We have to get after the QB, and ultimately, you know, we don't need to have the best cornerback duo in the league. We just need to have a great pass rush, and that'll help the cornerbacks instantly. But something's not right, y'all. We got 1 like on the stream, and we got 10 people in here, man. Say what's good in the chat. Say what's up in the chat if you haven't already. Like up the stream, man. If you brush your teeth this morning, like up the stream. It's free. Hit that like button. We're trying to push this content out there. But yeah, man. Once again, I think the Patriots could shake this whole thing up. Go ahead and take Marvin Harrison Jr. at 3. Still getting a great player. But just shake up this whole thing, man. Shameless plug. The Yankees are playing. You know, the Yankees are, you know, in the season. If you like the Yankees, the Juke NYY. Down in the description. Juke NYY. I cover the Yankees a bit. Baseball is a whole different sport. No kidding. But baseball is a whole different sport in terms of games being day in and day out. The content on there definitely has to pick up a bit, but make sure you subscribe over there. I'm trying to stay consistent over there as well. And talk about these Yankees, man. Hopefully this is the year. We say that about the Giants, but hopefully it's a year for the Yankees too. Sleazy says, word, built through the trenches, and we will win more games. That's the biggest reason why I feel like we've been losing, man. The trenches hasn't been doing their thing. Now, last year, my gosh, it started like crazy. The defensive line did look crazy. Obviously having Leonard Williams, obviously having Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, A'Shawn Robinson, and Nacho. Now we did lose a bit of people, so it does look a little weaker, but I thought our defensive line was going to be dominant last year. And Azeez getting hurt, obviously right on cue. But also with the other couple people, the production just wasn't there like that. Just wasn't there. H2O says, H2O, by the way, was good. Appreciate you for joining in. He says, I would like to see Jones with a true wide receiver one. I would too, but honestly, I'm good with taking a wide receiver one and Drew Lock. Let me see you work with Malik Neighbors. Let me see what's going on. Because once again, I don't know. I don't know how sold I am with Daniel Jones playing next season. Just being honest. I know that he talked to the media. He addressed the media. Daniel Jones is the face of New York right now, and the face of New York is potentially going to get replaced. That's what a lot of people have on their mind. But he addressed the media. He talked that he will be ready for training camp. He will be ready by week 1. Will they actually play him by week 1? We'll see. We'll see if they actually play him. He could start off on the PUP list and you see him miss the first 4 games. But what'll happen, what'll shake out, we'll see. We will see. But I think I'm taking that wide receiver one regardless. I'm not even thinking about Jones with him at this point. I'm thinking about potentially the other QB that will draft. Because I think that's going to end up happening, man. If I had to pick the guys outside of the first round, obviously, like I said, Drake May is the pick for me. If we can try to get a way to get Drake May, we have to. Moving past that, Penix, I'm good off of, man. I'm good off of Penix. I know Penix's ability. I know he could be great in this league. I know he can make the throws. Just for me, if we're worried about Daniel Jones' history, then we're definitely worried about Michael Penix's history. Have to. Torn ACL, messed up shoulder in his throwing shoulder. You have to be thinking about that. Now, am I sold on a guy like Bo Nix? Not either. I'm not either. I'm really not. But I'm cool with them taking a swing at it. I'm cool with them trying it out. Bo Nix has talent. He's talented. For me, I think it's more mental. Seeing if he can really get it done against the top teams. We've seen what it was against the top defenses in college football. Spencer Rattler, once again, I think that's the one I'm most on board for, but potentially in the third, or maybe you trade up in the beginning of the third or the late second round. I might be talking myself into Spencer Rattler a bit. Just might. Miguel says the only way I see Jones playing in 2024 is if he waives his injury clause. The Giants are petty like every team in the league. We benched Tyrod, so we didn't have to pay his bonus. Might be on the money when it comes to that, man. Might be on the money. I remember you commented that on a live stream or a video before as well. Daniel Jones' injury clause is a real thing. If he gets injured, that money, more guaranteed money shifts towards him. Might not be in the best interest of the Giants, man. Might not. Sleazy said, I just don't get how if we got healthy that quick, he better not be rushing. It's the last thing we need is a quarterback faking he's healthy. So he did get hurt earlier in the year. He did get hurt week 6, which was against the Raiders. So I think it's more than enough time. Guys, ACL tears and ACL things used to be, career-threatening injury. Now you see a lot more guys come back from it pretty quickly. Do they perform quickly? Maybe not. The quarterback position, luckily, you kind of don't have to resort on your athleticism. Now, Daniel Jones, he does. A lot of the plays Daniel Jones made when he was good, a lot of plays that he made in general was when he was running with the ball, using his legs. So he needs his legs up under him. Miguel says ACL is an 18 to 24-month injury, and Barkley is an example of that. He wasn't the same after his ACL, for sure. You see them, it takes more of 2 years than a year. Just last year, Wandale was starting off a little weak, but towards the end of the year, he picked it up almost around the time that it was over a year, and he was already playing back with that knee. That might be the timeline. So maybe Jones won't be ready. He'll say he's ready. He'll say that he'll be cleared and everything, but we know when it comes to playing the game, playing the sport, we should have looked at what Saquon had. Saquon definitely was not the same. Fun fact, I did tear my ACL in high school as well, so I know a little bit about it. That knee still bothers me to this day, but guess what? I don't get the taking care of that they do. I don't get that health care that they do. And getting back on the field within 8 months. So, yeah, I think they'll be all right. I think Jones will be all right, but will the Giants pull the trigger? Probably not. Paul was good. He said the team needs at least 6 to 7 more starters all over the team before we reach for a quarterback. Wide receiver is the biggest need. Take the wide receiver. If we stay put at 6, we're taking the receiver. Now, does that mean you wouldn't take May if he's there? You wouldn't take May if he's there, Paul? Let me know. C said, "Oh, do you see Big Dash tweet? We finally saw Aaron Robinson, or it might be illusion." I did see that. I did see that, man. Shout out to Big Dash. Shout out to Big Dash. I love Big Dash. Fun fact: Aaron Robinson. We talked about this before. You know, I live in Central Florida. Aaron Robertson went to UCF. I was super hyped for this guy. You know, I really thought he was going to be a starting corner, especially the makeup that we took him in the third round. Definitely expected us to, you know, see him contribute. It's crazy to think that we haven't seen him contribute yet. Like, barely. Not last year, but the year prior, you know, when we had that win streak going on, I did see the Giants take on the Jaguars. I saw Aaron Robertson in the flesh. I saw him getting his reps in, but he was already hurt and he was already out. But this guy is big. Aaron Robinson is a big corner, big physical corner. It's just can't stay healthy and can't stay on the field. We don't really know what he could be on the field because he hasn't played. That would be the craziest thing. Aaron Robinson emerges out of nowhere and he steps up as a cornerback too. I'd be happy. But yeah, speaking on what Paul said, at least 6 to 7 more starters for sure. I do agree with that as well on both sides. You got to look at the safety position. Are we comfortable with Dane Belton and Jason Pinnock? You're probably going to see them out of safety. Once again, cornerback position. We got Nick McLeod starting at corner on the other side. Don't think it would be there. When you look at potentially on the offensive side of the ball, obviously receivers is an issue. Running back. Possibly still see them take a running back. We know we signed Devin Singletary. That's not stopping us from drafting one. Definitely not stopping us from drafting one. Paul says, not saying don't take May. I said don't reach. Don't trade up for him. Dang, man. My camera be selling. Hold on, y'all. We'll be back at it in 1 second. Now we should be good. In a couple of seconds. Never mind. We'll give it a couple more seconds, y'all. The chat was heating up, man. The chat was heating up. But y'all can hear me clearly, I'm sure. Still, once again, catching up. Yeah, don't reach for him. I don't know, man. I think potentially if the move is there at 3, I'd still do it. You know, we are going to have to give up some assets, and I know that's what you're talking about. You don't want to give up assets because we still have to fill in some holes. But if you get the QB, that's definitely what they're set on, man. I spoke on it a little earlier in the stream. Them bringing in Drake May, obviously Drake May, but them bringing in Bo Nix and Spencer Rattler tells me enough. They're looking to get one. They are definitely looking to get one in. Swing on this camera. There we go. We back at it, man. Appreciate y'all for staying tuned. We back at it. Miguel said we don't want to see Jones going down with a season-ending injury, and the first thing we're going to do is say, damn, we have to pay him a Q for 2025, something like Aaron Rodgers. Straight up, Miguel. By the way, shout out to Miguel, man. He was the first giveaway winner. He did receive his beanie, by the way. I don't cap when it comes to this, man. I don't cap when it comes to this. He did receive his beanie. Miguel, let us know. Let's pull up. Sleazy said we draft good players and they get hurt. Got to get rid of the turf. And it's interesting because they're gonna play the World Cup there in a couple of years. It's crazy. We hear you. Yeah, appreciate it, man. My whole camera, man, just be selling sometimes. Nolan said, I say we trade for Dak Prescott and fire Daboll and get Belichick. Dang, Nolan coming in here with the crazy take. That would be pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That would be pretty crazy. There's speculation. Maybe the Giants want to go ahead and get Dak Prescott. I seen that. Heck no. If it's me, heck no. The Belichick one is interesting. I think maybe, not saying that, our front office leaked it or anything, but best believe if the Giants don't go ahead and show out this upcoming year, I don't think Daboll is going to be here next year. And them speaking on Bill Belichick already, if the Giants lose some games, expect it to get a little sketchy, man. Expect it to get a little sketchy. Stoutemeyer. Hope I said that right. Was good. Appreciate you for tapping in. He said, if both Harrison Jr. and Neighbors are gone, I would strongly consider trading back with the Vikings and draft Bowers at 11. And the best available CB at 23, and then draft the best available wide receiver in the second round. Or maybe even a wide receiver at 23 and a cornerback in the second round. What good cornerbacks will be there at 47? Not sure. That does sound like a great idea, though. I'll be honest. If it folded out that way, Bowers could potentially go ahead of 11. Brock Bowers, he could definitely go ahead of 11 potentially, but we'll see exactly how it plays out. I could potentially see like Brian Robinson. I believe that's his name. Let me not get it confused, man. Oh, yeah, Brian Robinson, right? I'm talking about receiver out of LSU, man. Who's the other receiver at LSU? Across from Elite Neighbors. Y'all let me know in the chat if you know already. I might be wrong on that. But potentially Brian Thomas. I think it's Brian Thomas. Maybe him at 23, Possibly. So he said Nolan trying to bring us back down. Hey, man. The only thing I can't hate on is that Dak Prescott always cooks us, man. Or we always let him off the hook. I hate it. With Dak Prescott. Miguel says, yep, I'm in New York wearing it. It's cold out here. Good looking out. Yes, sir. Appreciate you for rocking the beanie. Damn, being cold in April sucks. I'm not trying to rub it in, y'all. But dang. In April. Meanwhile, in Florida today, it was 89 degrees, man. 89 degrees. Paul said, most definitely looking to replace Denny Pennies. I just don't want to give up future picks. I see your vibe with that, man. Definitely, I see your vibe. Paul says, no Belichick. Are we sure? Nah, I'm kidding. I'm not the biggest fan of Belichick either. Listen, if you thought it was bad with the Patriots with having Bill Belichick, what do you think it'll be with the Giants? The Giants aren't a lot more talented than the Patriots were. What do you think it would be? Yeah, I'm not the biggest sold on that either. Then again, it wasn't the front office saying that they have interest in Bill Belichick. It was more of him saying, hey, I would love to coach the Giants. And more of that probably for the nostalgia. He coached there at one point, was a defensive coordinator. Sleazy said Brian Thomas. Yeah, I think it was Brian Thomas. Appreciate that, though. I think it was Brian Thomas. We got 12 people in the building, man. Say what's good in the chat if you haven't already. And we only got 5 likes in the building. 5 likes. That's not enough. If you brushed your teeth this morning, like the stream. And if you didn't, you're just exposing yourself. Let's catch up. Miguel said, if I take the Vikings pick 11 to 23, I'm taking Bowers and Penix and T'Vondre Sweat or Leggett at 47. T'Vondre Sweat, I feel like possibly he can go in the 3rd round, especially considering that charge that came out. Maybe we can get him in the 3rd round. Xavier Leggett, I do like. We have to take a receiver in one of those picks, though. Have to. Penix at 23. Not the most terrible idea. We'll see what ends up playing out, man. I definitely think, once again, if you just joined recently, 3 people on the thumbnail, that's what I think we're walking away with in the 1st round. Drake May, Rome Odunze, Malik Neighbors. I think Odunze slept on, man. I think he is. And I'm a part of the agenda that kind of been sleeping on him. I'm going to be honest. I like Neighbors. I love his explosiveness. But I think Odunze is still really talented. I think he could still, be great in the NFL. I think he still can be. So you said Belichick too old school, man. He's overrated. I definitely think. Can I ask a question? Not relating to the Giants. Was it more Brady or Belichick? I think it's more Brady for sure. I got Patriots fans trying to tell me that put some more respect on Belichick. And we have the old classic, it's both of them. It's both of them meshed together. I do think it's both of them meshed together, but Brady's a different breed, man. Brady's a different breed unless he's playing the Giants. Miguel said Monday 80, Tuesday 71, and today 50. Oh, so it must be like a cold front or something, man. That sucks. That sucks. Sleazy said 11, Max Melton, 23, Xavier Mitchell, and trade with the Vikings to get 11 and 23. Is Max Melton going that high? Is he going that early? I like Max Melton, but is he going that high? I could be off on it completely, on his radar. Because, 11? We do need another corner, though. We do. Stoudemire says, yeah, either way, we cover both needs at wide receiver and CB with high-quality prospects, plus potential getting the top tight end in the draft, which would help any quarterback we plan to start. And that's not even just a top tight end in the draft. He's supposed to be one of the top tight ends to come out overall, like, in a long time. And I say this in a long time, I'm not going to lie. Kyle Pitts is what moves me away from drafting a guy like Bowers. Two completely different players, completely different, but you didn't see Gronkowski taken in a top 10 pick. You didn't see, Travis Kelce be taken in a top 10 pick. Spending a top 10 pick on a tight end just scares me a bit, man. I know it's 11 though. It's outside of the top 10, but I don't know, man. Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram might have scared me overall taking a tight end kind of early in the first. But some pan out, some don't. Some pan out, some don't. And maybe Kyle Pitts is not his fault, but he did kind of turn me off to that idea, man. I'm not going to lie. He really did. Miguel said Brady. Sleazy said it was definitely more Brady, and he proved that after he left. When he came down to Tampa, y'all, when he came down to Tampa and won a ring, there was nothing I could have said. And I'm not a Brady hater. I do believe that he benefited from a lot of calls over the years. He benefited from a lot of rules that were put in. But he's a different breed, man. When he came down to Tampa and won, I'm just like, it's so hard. It's so hard to win in the NFL. And this man has, like, more rings than anybody else. More rings than a lot of people. I got to respect it. You have to respect it. And then he also gave us 2 rings. Why wouldn't I be proud of Brady? Thank you to Brady because he gave us 2 rings. I think I made a YouTube short on that where I was just congratulating him on retirement. I'm just like, thank you for giving the Giants 2 of the biggest memories, and thank you. That's exactly what I said. Paul said, no Bowers. Look at NFL history. I'm there with you, Paul. I'm right there with you. Once again, sleeper running back. If you haven't checked out that video, make sure you check out that video. Dante, why am I forgetting his name? I almost want to say Dante Waller. Dante Miller. Close enough. Dante Miller. Check out that video if you haven't already. We still been posting videos, man. I know it's been a little while since I've been live, but we still been posting videos, man. Make sure you check out sleeper running back right here, Dante Miller. Check out that video. Appreciate y'all for running up that video for sure. Make sure you check out that video, man. Make sure. Once again, for everyone that's in here, man, appreciate y'all for joining up. Appreciate y'all for being here. Next week, NFL Draft, we are going to be live. Right here. Draft goes live, I believe, at 8:30 or 8. 30 minutes before the NFL Draft, we will be live. We will be live. So, once again, if you're going to be available, pull up. We'll be having a good time. We'll be live streaming the whole thing. My first live stream last year was around 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours, talking about the whole thing. So, please, 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 make sure you pull up in here and just let me know what's up, man. Let me know what's up, what your vibes are, how you're watching the NFL Draft. I know a lot of us probably work the next day. I requested all that time off. I said, I'm focused on producing content for y'all, talking about the draft picks, making sure we have recap videos out there, because we gonna shake some things up. People might be upset. People might love it. People might hate it. But that's New York sports, man. Sotomayor said, yeah, bro, Dante Miller's beast. Once again, Dante Miller. Check out that video if you haven't already. His story overall is what blew me away. Not being eligible to be drafted and that whole situation with the NCAA was crazy. So he said if Miller was in the draft, he definitely would have been selected probably in the 2nd or 3rd round. He would have been selected high because of that 40-yard dash. Fastest 40 out of the running backs. And you already know, 40-yard dashes boost everyone up. Paul says, can never disrespect Brady. The guy was a straight-up assassin on the field, but we took 2 of his rings. Once again, thank you to Brady for giving us 2 of the most exciting, wrong side, Super Bowl championships overall, man. We got a couple of them on this jacket, man. Once again, appreciate y'all for joining up. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Next week, we're all live. Stay tuned. Got more content coming out there. Let it be the right pick at number 6, man. I'll catch you on the next video. Thank you for joining up, and I'll catch y'all next week.